Shalom. Psalm 92, like several other psalms, is especially well known because of its connection to the Jewish liturgical calendar. 92 in particular because it is a psalm that was specifically designated for the Sabbath day, for Shabbat. And it is recited during the Kabbalat Shabbat service, the service to greet and welcome the Shabbat on Friday evenings. And it is also recited a few times the following morning on Shabbat morning. So let me read it for you now. A psalm, a song for the Sabbath day. It is good to praise the Lord, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, O Lord. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, O Lord! How very subtle your designs. A brutish man cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Though the wicked sprout like grass, though all evildoers blossom, it is only that they may be destroyed forever. But you are exalted, O Lord, for all time. Surely your enemies, O Lord, surely your enemies perish. All evildoers are scattered. You raise my horn high like that of a wild ox. I am soaked in freshening oil. I shall see the defeat of my watchful foes, hear the downfall of the wicked who beset me. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of the Lord, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that the Lord is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. The great teacher and rabbi and 20th century Jewish theologian and philosopher Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote often about the idea of wonder and awe as a religious and spiritual disposition, the idea that we can behold the world around us and the universe with a sense of awe and wonder, and remind ourselves that this world, nature, the skies, the universe, all stand for something greater, for a creative force, for an ultimate being, a creator that generated all of it and made it happen. That sense of wonder is very strong, very palpable in Psalm 92. The psalmist talks about proclaiming God's steadfast love at daybreak, his faithfulness each night, not only on Shabbat, but each and every day to proclaim God's love and God's faithfulness. But on Shabbat, we are particularly aware of God as a creative force. I shout for joy at your handiwork, the psalmist proclaims. How great are your works, O Lord, your designs subtle. God is exalted for all time. And then we have the pièce de résistance, really, the last three verses. Tzaddik katamar yifrach, the righteous bloom like a palm tree or a date palm, thriving like a cedar in Lebanon. And then a reference to the holy temple in Jerusalem, the fact that the temple was built from the cedars of Lebanon that were imported from the north and used to construct the structure of the temple. Those cedars that had to be tall enough to form the frame of the temple are also compared by metaphor to the righteous. They grow tall, they bloom like a date palm. Even in old age, they are fruitful. Can this be some kind of indirect reference to the wonder of an old person who is still able to be fertile, as Abraham and Sarah were in the book of Genesis? Sarah at age 90, Abraham at 99, able to sire a child, Isaac, in their old age. As righteous people, For them, anything would be possible. And so, the psalmist declares out of a sense of awe and wonder that the righteous are also part of the created world that God made. They bloom, they thrive, they produce fruit. And just as the psalmist marvels at the wonders of the natural world and the universe around, he also is struck with awe at the very reality and existence of righteous people in the world. They too are part of the created world. They too were made and fashioned by the Holy One, the ultimate source of being. On the Shabbat, when we stop the regular workday schedule and stop to admire what is around us, Shabbat is designated and set aside as a time to do this, to marvel at what is around us, to cease from creating things ourselves and doing work and tampering with the natural environment and changing the world around us, but just to stop and to admire and to gaze at the universe around us and to remember that that and all of that stands for something greater, the fact that they were created by God. And then in the very next breath, the psalmist is able to say, the righteous person as well, the tzaddik, is also something to be amazed at, something to marvel at. There are so many reasons in life why it is desirable or can be desirable to turn away from righteousness towards evil. The psalmist says, the wicked sprout like grass, evildoers blossom, but even so they will ultimately find and meet their destruction. But in the short term, it appears that evil and wickedness might pay off. But the psalmist reminds us, in the end, evil people do not thrive and prosper. They will be destroyed. In the end, only the righteous will thrive and prosper. Created by God, like the natural world around us, this is something to behold on the day of rest and to be deeply grateful for, to give thanks, and to express that deep sense of gratitude through the joy and resonance of music, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, O Lord. I shout for joy at your handiwork. I hope and pray that through music, through poetry, through creative endeavors that can gladden our own hearts and give us a sense of meaning in today's day and age, that through all of these things we can continually reaffirm, not only on the Sabbath day, but each and every day, reaffirm the glory and majesty and wonder of the divine being of God. Thank you.